Hey, how's it going? So today, work on this painting. You can see it. Let's look at that. It's a hand. It's my hand, my wife's hand, my son's hand. It's a cute painting. I think I'm gonna do the background a blue, and then the line work, I'm gonna do a yellow. I think I'm debating whether it's a lighter yellow or a darker yellow. We'll see. So I'm gonna pick out those paints, and then I'm gonna full send on it. Just go for it. Right now I'm painting. I am washing off some paint brushes. I feel like this black curtain behind me, maybe the setup feels a little higher quality than ones I've had in the past. Let me know what you think, if you prefer the other angle or you prefer this setup. Yeah, I think ideally, you could probably buy an easel, maybe do a Bob Ross type setup where you have a better angle, or maybe set an overhead camera, over my shoulder camera. But I'm just getting paint everywhere. What a mess. Going into this one, I feel a lot more confident because it's just hands. It's just, if I get the shape somewhat right of these hands, I think it'll look good. So, not really stressed at all about this. Oh, I'm Connor McDevitt. I'm a creative. I make paintings, do graphic design, do video work. I'm a communications major with a minor in graphic design, a certificate in digital media, and a certificate in graphic design. I love making things. I love making videos. I love making art. I love being involved in creative projects. I like making documentaries, interviews, advertising, really anything to do with creating, working with others, making stuff. See, I'm just laying down a thin coat, this light blue color. I think it's looking interesting. Maybe some of this in here, a warmer tone. It's kind of interesting. Just having fun doing some painting. Well, my wife got me this hat for my birthday. My birthday is in a few days. And it says tuna fish sandwich. And it's by a tuna fish company that I really like. If you like tuna fish, you like making tuna fish sandwiches, they're not sponsoring me, but I'll share. They're called Fish Wife. They make a spicy tuna. And again, I like talking about food. I like food. Haven't really talked about food because I'm doing art. But because I'm wearing this hat, I thought I would share. But they make a spicy tuna. It's canned, and it comes in Spanish olive oil, which, I don't know, if you're someone who likes eating tuna fish or tuna fish sandwiches, which I haven't met that many other people who like, I don't know. I guess I grew up eating a lot of tuna fish sandwiches. I thought it was just a normal lunch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was a normal lunch thing, just tuna fish sandwich. That's a normal lunch. But apparently none of my siblings ate tuna fish sandwiches growing up, and they didn't like them. A beautiful painting of my family's hands. I'm talking about tuna fish sandwiches. But if you like tuna fish sandwiches, as I was saying, a lot of canned tuna companies in the US put the tuna in water, which I don't understand. Why put it in water? I don't like that. What's the point of the water? But to put it in olive oil. Delicious Spanish olive oil. It adds to the flavor, and I think it helps preserve it as well. I don't know that much. I guess I don't know that much about preserving fish, but I like it. Put it in olive oil. It's much better. It's so much better. I don't even understand. Why in water? I don't like it. Maybe someone likes it. I would assume maybe if you're allergic to olives, if that's a thing. Is someone allergic to olives? I don't know. Here, put this mic like this. You can hear the paint on the paper. I'll let you give it, I guess. When Bob Ross was painting, he must have had a boom mic setup or a double setup with microphones, so you could hear this sound. That really is quite a nice sound. Making that paint go on that canvas. I think I'm out of white paint, so this isn't gonna get any lighter, but I can go a little darker with it. And I think I will. And I think maybe I'll do that where the hands aren't. This little space here. And again, I'm not gonna try to keep in the lines. We're crossing the lines. There's no rules. I get to make it however I want. It's a good time. Really enjoy painting. The last few years I haven't been doing much of it just because I've been at school, learning how to be an efficient video editor, learning how to do some animation, learning a lot of skills that I can use to make more stuff. learned the kind of Adobe softwares, and I've learned the DaVinci Resolve. I took a class on that. I like this, it's going good. Nothing too crazy. Just laying down some shades of blue. Might give it a second to dry off, actually. That's nice. I like this color of the background. You see the hands, and then as I do the outline, it'll become more clear, which is nice. I'm gonna clean off this brush. There's some art, when you make it, you think, wow, this is really good. I'm really proud of this. And then you go and you look back at it and you realize it was not that good, it was pretty bad. And there's other art where you make it and you think, I could have done better, this isn't that good. And then you look back at it and you think, that was actually, I'm still proud of that artwork that I did. I'm still proud of that piece. And this paint looks really old and I'm gonna throw it away. I think as time goes on, I think I'm trying to make more of those pieces where in the moment, I think maybe this wasn't the best and maybe I experimented a little too much. But then as time goes on, I think, wow, that's maybe one of the best things that I've ever done. And so, I don't know if there's a way to really gauge that. Does that make sense? I don't know. Definitely gonna have to layer up this yellow paint because as you probably learned as a kid, yellow and blue make green. I don't want it to be green, I want it to be a yellow outline on blue. So it'll take some layering to make it a really vibrant yellow color, which is okay, not in a rush. This will be good. So thinking, I'm gonna go pretty thick on this. Just kind of, I think I've had that with every aspect of art that I've done. There's been pieces where I look back and go either one of two ways where I think I could have pushed that further or I could have done better, or maybe I'm really not proud of a piece looking back at it, but when I made it, I thought it was maybe the pinnacle of what I was doing at the time. And then there's been pieces where I really thought they weren't that great, but then looking back at them, there's aspects of them that I am really proud of and think is really neat. That maybe I'd like to do again. I feel like I'm putting in the hours, putting in the work. I'm doing as much as I can do. I feel like I have such a strong desire to create. I don't know if I have the ability to take a break from creating. I think I have to be making something. Whether that's like simple drawing, lining up this outline real thick. I think it's looking cool. As of now, a few minutes ago, I finished the painting of me and my wife. I'll bring it up closer to the camera, but I think this is gonna be a cool one. It's pretty simple, and I like that it's pretty simple. Some big old hands and simple color palette, basically just two colors, blue and yellow. I guess green, but blue and yellow essentially. The way I'm texturing this paint, I think it'll be pretty cool. That's my son's hand when he was a baby, so that's pretty cute. Overall, very happy with this, how this is turning out. This is gonna be a good one. I think maybe that's also how it goes with art, is the thing you're working on is often the thing you're most proud of, because it depends. Looking back, you see all the mistakes, but at the same time, where you were at and the knowledge you had. And so there's that perspective of, with the tools and knowledge that I had when I made that, I'm surprised that I was able to accomplish that sometimes. But I think hands are interesting, and they have a lot of character, and they can show some of the stuff you've lived through. My wife, her hands, she's cooked a lot throughout her life, and so she has burns from ovens and from cooking. And then for me, well, this hand got crushed by a four-wheeler, so I have some gnarly scars on that from that experience. And there's a fire that burnt this part of my hand on this side. A lot of kind of experience captured through scars. You use your hands every day. After I crushed my hand was in a cast. This hand, the left hand, it's in a cast for almost over a year because they thought it was going to heal, and then it didn't heal. So then I had to go back in and have surgery on it. And so I was in a cast for, I had like one hand for a year. And that it really makes you appreciate what you have, reflect. I had a family friend growing up, super cool, and she only had one hand. And I always admired that she never let that be an excuse or a boundary of what she could do or accomplish in her life. And when I was injured, I guess it was a new way of life for me to have limited use of one hand for a whole year. And so I was constantly demanding attention and help, and it made me feel I'm not one to ask for a lot of help or attention often if I don't need it. I think I was frustrated a lot during that time too, because you realize that daily tying your shoes is a lot harder to do with one hand. Or it made me realize that when I go to open doors, for some reason I use my left hand when I open a lot of doors, depending on the door, without thinking about it. But when you can't use your hand and you go to open a door with it, you think about it. You guys ever have sea monkeys as a kid? Or know what sea monkeys are? When I was younger, that was the coolest thing ever. The advertisements on TV all the time. Recently, with it being my birthday, I got this tuna fish hat, but I also got some sea monkeys. And I just put them in their container, and they're supposed to hatch pretty soon here. And I'm not supposed to have pets in my apartment complex, but you know what sea monkeys are? I don't think they really count as pets. It's more like having a glass of water. They don't really do anything, or they're like micro little creatures in a cup. That's all they are. You feed them once a week. I think it's less maintenance than a fish. I think it's less maintenance than, honestly, a plant. There's a lot of plants that require a lot more maintenance than sea monkeys. It's just kind of interesting thing to think about, but kind of random thought. But so him and I are very excited. It's a fun activity, and I guess it's a lot of nostalgia to my childhood. Not to be said about the power of nostalgia. Like a lot of advertising, nostalgia marketing going on. Sometimes it's done right, sometimes it's done wrong. If it's done well, then it makes me want to buy a product. Like nostalgia marketing. If it's done well, I think I'll be like, oh my goodness, that collab with this and that. When nostalgia marketing is used in a way where it feels high quality and it feels like you're actually tapping into something that is good, or bringing back something that's of actual quality and value, then I feel like that's a good thing. But when you make something of absolute garbage quality and use nostalgia to try and just make money off of something that is garbage quality, I think it makes people, maybe in the short term, there could be some monetary spend on it, but people aren't gonna like that in a more long term, and it could even lead to, down the road, very negative perception of that thing. But for me personally, I guess I feel deceived by a product when the quality is so much lower than the value of the nostalgia. Yeah, I'm really liking how textured this is, how the paint is this kind of style that I'm doing with the paint, and I like the color palette. Simple. A lot of times simple can be better. There's just gonna be a bunch of paint. That's it. I like the texture in her finger. Maybe I should color in this ring too, so it's kind of consistent with that other side. Her fingers look so long now that I'm looking at it here. I think that's good. That's a good piece. Maybe more paint around this outline here. My nose is really running with it being spring. Allergies. A lot of allergies. What do you mean? I want to make the outlines a little thicker. Get some more paint on here. I think that'd be, I want at least the outline to be quite solid so you can tell which hand. There's some fine shape. I want there to be defined shape between which hand is which hand. Paint is definitely layered up. Now this baby hand. Do you know there's a song called A Baby's Hands by Kurt Vile? It's quite a good song. Would recommend it. A little music recommendation. Kurt Vile, I think it's Baby's Hands. Kurt Vile has some great music. If you haven't heard his music, so recommend. If you haven't heard my music, recommend my own music. I got some decent tunes. If you look up McDev, I'm on all those streaming platforms, and I have like 50 music videos on YouTube. Quite a few of them animated. So if you like my animation work, you like my artwork, I would recommend checking out my music. Probably enjoy it, especially if you like my animation. You check out those animated music videos, see some cool music videos. Definitely super proud of the claymation one because I made a claymation music video. I think that's pretty cool. It's a good accomplishment. I think there's, on a scale of bands who have music videos that are done with claymation and ones that don't, There's probably more bands that don't have music videos that use claymation. So it's pretty cool that I'm on the list of bands that have claymation music videos. I have one. I'd like to make more, and I will in the future. That's in the works, in the plans. I have a few cool rotoscope animation music videos, frame by frame animation. I think it turned out pretty cool. My elephant, I have an elephant song that was made for, the intended audience was kids, but a lot of adults have told me they like my elephant song that I made. I made it because my son told me that I need to make a song about an elephant running away. And so that's what I did. I wrote a song about an elephant running away. And then I made an animated video for that song. And I think it turned out quite nicely. The song and the visuals. And I just recorded the song in my kitchen. And my son he sings in part of it near the end. And I think my wife's voice is even in there near the end of that song. I think that's it. I think I need to sign it. I'll sign it in this corner. My wife's hand will be in this one. I'm not gonna do a border, not gonna do anything else. Happy with that. Here, I'll bring it up close to the camera so you can see it very well. Wow, that's it. See how the light reflects off of it in different ways, different angles. I think that's a beautiful piece. I think it's really nice. It's a good representation of love and family. This is the final painting. It's a good representation of love and family. I'm really proud of how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. That's it. I'll see you next time I do a painting, or you can check out my other artwork or music videos. So I'll see you next time. I'll be making more music videos, be making more artwork, more animation. Be sure to, if you like seeing me make work on this painting, you'll probably like my other artwork. The goal of this channel is to just make and create as much as possible. And so the way I'm thinking about this is anything that's creative or art related that I work on, I'll be putting here. And so this will be my version of a video art magazine or art book. See you next time. See you later, alligator.